What's up, trainers, and welcome to the first episode of Trainer Loadout, Generation 3 Edition, the podcast where we break down the art of team building and deep dive into strategies for the Gen 3 battle frontier. Whether you're grinding for gold symbols, theory crafting for new team comps, or experimenting with your favorite Pokemon in fun and creative ways, you're in the right place. In this episode, we're going to be talking about what this podcast is and deep diving into a team that earned me my first gold symbol in the Battle Dome. This episode will serve as an example of what to expect in future podcasts, while also leaving some room for improvements and recommendations from you all. In case you aren't aware, we do have a YouTube channel where we post a lot of videos about the Pokemon Generation 3 games, as well as Generation 4, kind of slowly getting in there, but a lot about the Generation 3 games. I talk a lot about my adventures, my experience with the Battle Frontier and teams that I'm building. I don't really enjoy talking about myself all that often. I know it kind of doesn't seem that way because I make so many videos about it, but it's just that I love talking about these games. So this podcast is going to be a great opportunity to bring other people, maybe who either watch these videos or make YouTube videos for themselves, focusing on the Battle Frontier and kind of picking other people's brains on the Pokemon they use and the teams that they're building around and kind of their experience with those teams in the Frontier. I do want this to be different than the videos that we already upload on the channel. I want this to be purely like audio based. There's nothing in this video or in this podcast that you need to absolutely see. So I want this to be something that people can listen to on the way to work, in the car, or at their job where maybe they can't look at the phone or the screen at all. So although there will be a video format for this podcast, it will be designed to be audio only with an enhancement with the video, if that makes sense. This should be appearing on YouTube Music, so you can easily, listen in the car that way as well, which I think would be kind of exciting to see. That also might make it a little annoying for other people to watch, but at the same time, I think it has pros and cons, but I do want to try it out. I would like these podcasts to be at least an hour in length, preferably an hour and a half. And the idea behind there is, we need some time to get into the weeds of things and really kind of dissect other people's minds and maybe teams. And maybe we can do it in 45 minutes or so, but I think having an hour-long discussion is just quite fun and allows us to open up other conversations and questions. And again, just see what happens. But I'm shooting for at least an hour. Also, I think average people's commute to work are roughly 30 minutes, maybe 45. So if we have an hour podcast at a minimum, that'd be pretty good. But if we have an hour and a half, I think that would also be quite good for other people. One thing too is in the title of all these videos, I do want to have the Pokemon that the person we're interviewing is used on the team. This kind of makes it easier, I think, in the future when you're scrolling through the podcast episodes. If you want to hear about someone talking about a specific Pokemon, you can easily find it. Obviously, I guess the search engine is probably helpful too, but sometimes you don't have that option, and I want that to be available. So anyway, this is something, all the Pokemon used in the video will be in the title. I do have some ideas, obviously, for the podcast itself, but obviously, if anybody has any ideas that they want to see, I make these videos or podcasts for myself, but they're really for everybody else. And if you guys want to see something, again, they're for you. Let me know what you want to see, and we'll try to find a way to incorporate it into this style of content. One idea that I think would be kind of cool is have people submit audio files to me so we can play them throughout in the podcast. You guys can, whoever's listening on, in the actual podcast can hear that, but also I can hear it too for the first time. It could either be some short segments of people talking about specific things or maybe questions they have about the Frontier. Could really be anything. I think that'd be kind of cool too. We're interviewing a guest and asking questions to them, but then maybe we have a small segment where we bring some more people in for a shorter period of time, but it's again, more specifically a little audio file. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool, but yeah, I guess we'll see how that goes. So I am actively going out right now and trying to find people to interview. It's pretty easy actually because so many people on the channel have either YouTube channels themselves or they just have recommendations and experiences from the Battle Frontier and they've left it in the comments. So I'm going to be actively kind of going out there and reaching out to people just because I want to chat with them a little more. That'd be kind of cool. But I want to make sure that I want the quality to remain pretty good with these podcasts and just quality of videos in general. So if you are getting interviewed, absolute requirement is you need to have a pretty good mic. If you don't, I'm sorry, I'm not probably not going to want to interview you. And maybe that's a little mean. It's just the reality. In general, though, I think a mic is kind of somewhat easy for majority of people to get, or they already have. But yeah, I've been kind of developing like a whole form or like guide for the people that we are going to be discussing in the future for them to kind of just follow, and questions of things that I'm going to be asking to help guide the conversation. It's going to be kind of more, I guess, I want it to be somewhat structured. This way, everybody who watches the video or that listens to the podcast kind of knows in what order of events things are going to be discussed. And again, it's kind of just a little standardized, but where the variation is in the individual's team and their experience with it. So essentially what we want to do is talk about, obviously, the 3 Pokemon that this person used on their team. I want to dive into like the stats, why they opted in certain IVs, EVs, and kind of like why they even picked the Pokemon to begin with. And then from there, obviously there's going to be 3 of those Pokemon we're going to be discussing, but as a whole, each one's going to have their individual strengths and weaknesses. But on the team, how do they cover each other's strengths and weaknesses if they do? And just overall, how does the team perform in the Frontier based on like personal experience? I think that would be good things to discuss to kind of, again, pick people's brains on like why they pick certain Pokemon. And I know like a majority of the people who get the higher levels in the Frontier and get everything like that, like they use pretty standard Pokemon, typically like, let's say Latias, Metagross, stuff like that. Like they're strong Pokemon, they're proven. I'm definitely very interested in hearing people with unique Pokemon teams. Maybe like, again, like maybe they're not as good, like the team itself, but like you don't have to have reached a high level or gotten to a higher round for me to like want to have a conversation with you, or for other people to want to listen to your experience with your team. I think the interesting thing that's worth discussing is, again, why you pick certain Pokemon and like your experience with it, if that makes sense. Like it's unique, and I think that'd be really fun to pick people's brains about and to kind of get inside their minds. Like, again, I feel like you guys, if you're listening to the podcast, you have probably seen some of my videos, and we talk a lot about Steelix and Aggron and just like steel type Pokemon. And like Aggron's not necessarily the best Pokemon in the world to use on the Frontier, but it's cool. And I think a lot of you enjoy listening to me struggle in the Battle Frontier with Aggron, because it's like, I guess you also see the passion in me wanting it to work, if that makes sense. So it's like you're almost like rooting for me. Again, I'm not trying to say I'm inside all of your brains thinking what you're thinking, but at the same time, I can kind of see that. Like I can see that in other people's, I guess what I'm getting at. Like I want to see people use Pokemon that they love and struggle and suffer, but they find a way to get up and be like, I want to run it back again because I love these Pokemon. I think we can make it work. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about, or the people that we interview. Kind of, that is the type of person that I would like to chat with. I also have like a list of Pokemon that are quite common in the Frontier that are annoying. We got like the tanky normal types like Snorlax and Blissey. I have specific questions, or more like I want to understand how this person's team is capable of handling certain Pokemon. Like, again, like Snorlax, let's say Suicune. Because if a team can't handle these Pokemon or have a way of dealing with them, like it's unlikely you're going to get very far, if that makes sense. That's something I've learned, and I'm pretty sure other people have learned or will learn. Then we have another section where we're going to be talking about just some fun questions. Yeah, this is more just like, again, just fun things, not necessarily like talking points about the Frontier, but kind of just, again, having chill conversations. And then after that, we're probably just going to like wrap it up. But yeah, that's pretty much kind of what I have outlined for right now. But again, if anybody has anything they want me to add or things they want me to, I guess, ask the interviewer or interviewee. I don't know if that's the right word, but anyway, let me know. Definitely let me know, and I will see if I can incorporate it in. But anyway, with that being said, there's a long talk about what the podcast is, kind of the structure, the breakdown, and kind of what, at least from my opinion, I'm anticipating on doing. But let's actually get into the team that got me the gold medal. And we have made videos about this in the past. Maybe I didn't break it down into detail as much, but we'll break it down. Again, I haven't played with this team in a little while. It's definitely been a few months since we got the gold medal with this team. I've been picking, individual Pokemon within this, but I haven't actually used everything on this team since then. But anyway, we got Gengar, Metagross, and Milotic. So Gengar, we IV trained and IV bred and EV trained in special attack and speed. Nature is, I think, timid nature, maximizing the speed we want it to hit first pretty much every single time. Next Pokemon's Metagross. We bred it with an adamant nature, so increasing the attack, and we also got perfect IVs in attack and speed. And we did the EV training to get max attack, and we did a split between HP and speed. The idea behind there is I wanted to be able to outspeed at least some Pokemon in the frontier with Metagross, still make it like a sweeper, but realizing that there's diminishing returns on Metagross because it's innately not that fast of a Pokemon. So kind of prioritizing some more of the HP at least gives it that bulk where, yeah, we're going to outspeed some things. The things that we can't will hopefully survive a hit or two. So that's the idea behind Metagross. Milotic, what did we do? We got Bold Nature. I think that increases, it's either defense or special defense. And we got perfect IVs in defense and special defense. And we EV trained it in HP and defense completely. The idea behind that is Milotic already has really high special defense. And I guess just to confirm, the Bold Nature is increasing defense and lowering the attack. And now kind of looking at it, Milotic's special defense is off the scale. So this Milotic has perfect defense and special defense IVs. And with an increased 10% nature being bold in defense and maximum EVs in defense, it is still lower than the special defense that Milotic has with no IVs and not a beneficial nature. So Milotic's special defense is 125 and his defense is 79. So that is one reason why I've focused on increasing the defense, is because Milotic's special defense already off the scale. And then we obviously did maximizing it in HP because it just make it super bulky. And so getting back to Gengar, the moves we opted into using were special attacking moves. We got Thunderbolt, Giga Drain, and Fire Punch. Overall, just pretty, versatile and covers a wide variety of different Pokemon we would probably see in the frontier. I remember one option that I had here, I think, was Ice Punch too, but because we had Milotic, I didn't feel it was necessary, and I wanted a fire move to be able to handle things like Skarmory and Scizor. Destiny Bond for the Battle Dome. I guess more specifically for this entire conversation, let's just focus on the Battle Dome. Sure, this could be applied to other things like the Battle Tower or Pike, but just Battle Dome. For the Battle Dome, Destiny Bond is such an incredible move because if you're able to, so Gengar is already really fast, and typically you're going to be leading with this Pokemon to begin with, again, because it's fast. And if you're able to take out the first Pokemon, and then you just Destiny Bond the next one and you just die, it's such an easy 1v2 almost all the time. Such a good move, Destiny Bond. The item that we just had to run to on Gengar is the Lumberry. There are some things you can go maybe Bright Powder. I'd probably only go Bright Powder or Lumberry. So Lumberry, basically, if you get status inflicted with really anything, you'll get cured. The one thing with Gengar, again, is it's really fast, so it'll hit first. But Quick Claw users, and sometimes you don't kill a Pokemon the first hit, that if they hit you with a Confuse Ray or a Hypnosis or something, that really hurts. But if you get the Lumberry, you're all set. So I didn't have any complaints running the Lumberry. That felt like the right move. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, probably Bright Powder doesn't make that much sense because you're most of the time aren't going to be getting hit. And if you are, it's definitely not good, but I think you get more use on Bright Powder with something more tanky just because the amount of interactions you're going to get with another Pokemon. In case you don't know, Bright Powder increases your evasiveness. I think it's by 10%. Don't quote me on it. I know it increases your evasiveness. But yeah, that was the Gengar build, and Gengar does have Levitate too, so essentially Gengar's only weakness, I think, is Ghost and Dark. Let me just confirm that. So it's Ghost, Dark, and Psychic. So Gengar does have 3 weaknesses: Psychic, Ghost, and Dark. Not a whole lot, but just again, something to take into consideration. But the Levitate's really good because of the next Pokemon we have, which is Metagross. Metagross is weak to ground, but if you're predicting an Earthquake, you switch right into Metagross. Metagross, we opted to run the Choice Band because it hits really hard. So we ended up getting the max attack on Metagross. 405 hits so hard. So Choice Banded Metagross, max attack with Meteor Mash and the Stab. Oof, it does so much damage. But other than that, Metagross is so cool. Look how cool that Pokemon is. Even cooler shiny. Too bad my shiny is really bad. Anyway, Metagross, pretty standard move pool. We got Earthquake, Meteor Mash, Rock Slide. You're going to see a lot of builds run that. Some people run Explosion. I've had a lot of negative experiences with Explosion, so I decided to not do that. It definitely is an option though, and it handles or takes care of a lot of different Pokemon. But I opted for Hyper Beam, just being my okay, I want to hit something really hard, and I don't necessarily care about my next move or next turn. Because again, we're probably in the Battle Dome too, so if something connects and does a lot of damage, it is what it is. I think Meteor Mash with Stab might even do more damage than Hyper Beam. I didn't run the calc on it, but I don't know, it just seems like it does. Meteor Mash does so much damage, and then you could potentially get an attack boost with when you hit with Meteor Mash. Ooh, spicy. But yeah, pretty standard move pool on Metagross. Just again, all your powerful moves. Moving on to Milotic, we have the leftovers. This is our just tank. So we got Surf, Ice Beam, Toxic, Recover, pure beefy Pokemon. It does get the Stab from Surf too, which it actually does do a lot of damage. The Toxic and Recover with leftovers combo is incredible. If you can get the Toxic off and you're tanky enough, you just never die. And then you could just whittle away something with Ice Beam and Surf. And one thing too is, so Milotic essentially has to handle, things like Latios, which are pretty big threats. Same thing with Salamence. And the Ice Beam does do a lot of damage. So that's one big concern, I guess, with the team. Maybe not trying to go too all over the place. But a dragon Pokemon with Thunder or Thunderbolt is annoying because our Milotic has the Ice Beam that we're going to want to use against that Pokemon. However, Milotic is slow and is weak to the electric move. So it is something that's a little annoying that the team overall has some sort of weakness, or maybe not something that's amazing, but it is what it is. Every team's going to have something. You just have to understand what it is. Okay, so we got each Pokemon. We got the moves. So they're the role in the team. I guess, why do we pick these Pokemon though? Okay, so obviously we picked Metagross because one of the coolest Pokemon in the game. But Metagross is also really just strong, incredibly powerful, pseudo-legendary. And so outside of Metagross being one of my favorite Pokemon, I love Steel types. So outside of Metagross being a super powerful Pokemon, I built this team because I wanted to pick Pokemon that were super strong for the Battle Dome and to see how well I would do. Because up until this point, I've been using Pokemon that I I only care about and love, I love that Pokemon, it's one of my favorites. And it felt like I needed to just use a good team and see how far, if we could actually get a gold medal. Because before this, I didn't have any gold medals, and it was kind of am I just bad, or I don't know, you know what I mean? And I wanted to get to the higher rounds in the Frontier to see what other Pokemon we'd face so I can learn how to play against them. Because once you see other Pokemon play against them, well, I can take whatever I learned there and actually apply it to the Pokemon team that I really want to, train and bring up to those higher rounds, if that makes sense. Like if you built a team and the team just isn't good and you get to the higher rounds, it's probably out of luck and not out of like knowing, I guess, what's going on. I mean, there is obviously some element of luck like in the frontier, but like if I'm expecting things in the later and higher rounds of Pokemon on like other people's teams, and I can incorporate what I've learned into like the team using my favorite Pokemon, I think that just gives me better odds. Better odds of success when I actually get there with that team. So to me, it kind of just made sense. So obviously, Metagross, man, that Pokemon is so cool. The movie Destiny Deoxys, there's this like girl with a computer that sat on top of Metagross. It's like that is like ingrained in my memory. I chose Gengar because Gengar, it's so fast. It does so much damage. It learns such a wide variety of moves. So Giga Drain is great because it deals with Swampert and like Quagmire and all those Pokemon that I just don't like with the groundwater. I have a very bad experience with those Pokemon. Ground types, Earthquake and Surf are just like my arch nemesis with all the Pokemon that I love because I love Steel types. So, and I always see groundwater Pokemon because the Battle Frontier knows that my team is incapable of handling those Pokemon. But when you got to move like Giga Drain, those groundwater Pokemon, they can't do anything. Fire Punch, again, handles Skarmory and Scizor, as well as, obviously other Pokemon too, but you kind of need a way to handle Skarmory. And I already had a Metagross on the team, but if a Skarmory has counter, your Metagross can't defeat it, really, because you're just going to use any of your moves, and it's going to counter, and then you die. So Fire Punch really handles that. Yeah, also, this team is just literally designed to handle and have an answer to pretty much everything in the frontier. So Fire Punch also handles things like the beefy leech-seeding grass-type Pokemon like Meganium, Venusaur. Actually, this team doesn't have a solid answer to Ludicolo, but we just hit it with a Meteor Mash, and it's fine, or Toxicate or something, But beefy grass types, we got Fire Punch too. Again, Destiny Bond is just there because such a powerful move. He just defeat the other Pokemon without doing anything. And Thunderbolt, we gotta have a way of handling water types, especially beefy ones like Milotic and definitely Suicune. Just you need some answer. Gengar we picked because everything we just talked about. It is such a versatile, fast, special attacking Pokemon that can pretty much handle anything. So again, it's not one of my favorite Pokemon. I know a lot of people love Gengar. I mean, it's definitely cool. I like Haunter more. I mean, Gengar's cool. Again, powerful Pokemon. Not one of my favorite, though. I like the big steel types. And Gengar, I don't even know if he exists. He's like a ghost. But yeah, Gengar can just learn a whole lot of different moves and be really versatile on the team. Milotic, I'm not like a huge fan of Milotic, but it's such a beautiful... I can definitely appreciate the beauty of the Pokemon. And it's weird that I don't like Milotic because I love Steelix, I love Gyarados, I love Rayquaza, all the snake and serpents. I love Arbok, Survivor. They're all so cool. But Milotic, I just feel like Milotic's like too pretty of a Pokemon to be like a deadly snake, I think that's what's lacking from it. But other than that, it is a beautiful Pokemon. But it is such a powerful Pokemon too. It has such good base stats. Hold on, we gotta go back. Metagross' ability is crazy too. It's got Clear Body, so it can't like it will never lose its attack stat. Or is it all stats? I think it's actually all stats. So ability on Metagross, Clear Body. Opponents' moves that lower stats will not work on Metagross. So you can know that your Pokemon, like that ability is so good in the Frontier because you got so many Pokemon that you have like Intimidate and that like try to lower again any Pokemon stats. But if you got Metagross, it doesn't even matter. Where were we? The Milotic, such a powerful Pokemon, very beefy, does a lot of damage, and the moves it can learn are pretty great. So, pretty standard Surf, Ice Beam. Any water Pokemon you have in the Frontier is likely to have this, but you probably need Surf and Ice Beam on some Pokemon on the team. Ice Beam, you need a way of handling these ridiculous Dragon Pokemon that you're going to see. And Surf, I mean, overall, it's just a good move. It does a lot of damage. It always hits. And if you have it on a water type, you're going to get that stab. Milotic also learning Toxic and Recover is really good because we on the team right now we have Gengar, special attacking Pokemon, can handle a lot of things like that. Very squishy. Metagross is a physical attacking behemoth, but it's a little slow. And Milotic is slow, but it's very tanky. So every Pokemon kind of has like its little like niche on the team and kind of complements each other in like the different categories. Having a Pokemon with Toxic, having a tanky Pokemon with Toxic on a team, I think is somewhat critical. Again, this is just like loose rules, but there are so many things that Toxic can handle, and Toxic leftovers, maybe even like Protect, that you just kind of need it. Like one example is like Wobbuffet. Like Wobbuffet's so annoying. Actually, I put this on like the list of things like to understand how people handle it. If you have Toxic and like just some other move that doesn't attack, Wobbuffet is not a problem. But if you have only like physical attacking moves or only like special attacking moves or whatever, Wobbuffet's a problem because all that Pokemon has is Counter, Mirror Coat, Destiny Bond. I don't even know the other move. I think Mean Look or something. And it's got Shadow Tag, so you can't even switch out. So Wobbuffet's a problem, but Toxic easily handles Wobbuffet. I forgot where I was going with this, but yeah, Milotic, even though I didn't invest any IVs or train it or breed it for IVs in special attack, and no IVs or EVs in special attack either. Like this one's got 12 IVs in special attack, which is like nothing. Not nothing, it's like half. It's still, when I hit it with something with a Surf or Ice Beam, it does so much damage. And that's just because like Milotic, actually, let's check it, let's confirm it. Milotic's special attack is 100 base special attack. Like that's crazy. So yeah, overall the Pokemon is just so good. So yeah, inspiration though for Milotic. It's a snake, it's beautiful, but more importantly, it is just so good. The key thing here with all these Pokemon is they also complement each other. So again, kind of discussing before, Metagross weak to ground or earthquake. Well, we could always swap into Gengar and he's got Levitate. Another thing too, Metagross is weak to fire. Well, if we sense a fire move, we switch into Milotic, pretty resistant. Milotic, I guess, is weak to electric and grass, but like at that point you kind of just have to take it, like with Milotic. Milotic's ability is also crazy. It's Marvel scale. When it's inflicted with a status condition, its defense is raised by 50%. So even if it gets inflicted with paralyzation or something, 50% on 281 defense, that's crazy. One of the big things here is Gengar does have some weaknesses, but typically for the Battle Dome, the strategy is usually you're always going to be using Gengar and then either Metagross or Milotic. Again, there are some instances where you will be going Metagross and Milotic, but for any match that you do go Gengar, you almost always put it first because it's much easier to switch into Milotic or Metagross from Gengar than switching into Gengar. Again, because Gengar is very squishy. It might not take a hit, but Milotic and Metagross are designed to at least take some hit. They are slower, but again, they're designed that way. And again, that for this team, that's a general rule. It's not not every single match that will happen, but general rule. At least in my head, that's what I did going in with that. I'm trying to remember like specific strengths and weaknesses of the team. Like this team just felt so strong, but if I'm looking at it like right now, like I still think like Latias, some dragon type Pokemon where we need Milotic out there is a challenge. Like I remember I'm pretty sure Gengar fought Latias and Latios like once or twice, but Gengar's move pool can't really handle like those legendaries. Milotic's needed, and Metagross can kind of like handle it. It's not the best, but like it can be done. And also, I'm looking up. Yeah, Latias' build also has like some of them got Earthquake, so definitely a problem for the team. Latios and Latias. So getting into like other Pokemon though, like so tanky normal types. How does this team handle that? Well, We got Metagross. We hit that thing with a Meteor Mash. If it doesn't work, you hit it again. And you keep spamming Meteor Mash. The problem becomes when the Pokemon is allowed to set up, like it's a tanky, it's a tanky like Blissey. And it starts spamming Double Team. Mad annoying. But you're hopefully trying to get that Meteor Mash in before that thing starts spamming. Again, doesn't always work, but that is how this team handles the tanky normal types. Is if we're predicting that and we sense that's the main problem, when we send out a Pokemon, we're going to probably go Metagross first and try and slam that thing with a Meteor Mash. Toxic can work sometimes if we are able to hit it. However, if the Pokemon's tanky, typically they're going to have rest. They're going to have like soft boiled or something stupid like that. And it will be annoying to, it won't be as effective, I guess. This team doesn't really want to stall. If you watched this channel for a while, we had a Dusclops for a while. That thing was awesome. But like the main reason why I didn't like Dusclops is it relied on stalling the game. And man, when you're grinding a game for like 10, 15 minutes, it beats you up. And I didn't want to do that like anymore. Maybe in the future, but right now with this team, I didn't want that. This team doesn't want to stall. If we have to stall, we go into Milotic and we use Toxic, but it's not ideal. And this team doesn't have Aerial Ace or like Shockwave or something for a very consistent way of never missing, but it's not necessarily a bad thing either. Again, next thing on the list is double team spammers, like let's say Snorlax or something. Actually, does Snorlax even have double team? Pretty sure it does. Where are we? Yeah, there is definitely a Snorlax with double team. But yeah, we kind of already discussed how we handle that. Tanky Pokemon like Skarmory and Swampert. Again, I got this on the list too. I got Gengar. Gengar is a beast at handling any of those Pokemon. Other legendary Pokemon, Suicune, Latios. Suicune is a little bit of an issue. Like Gengar does have the Thunderbolt, so it can, deal a lot of damage. I don't think a Thunderbolt actually kills a Suicune though, depending on the build. And if a Suicune sets up 1 or 2 Calm Minds, that's tough. We do have Destiny Bond, but also Suicune does have pressure. So, and we only have 5 PP on Gengar, which I probably should use more PP ups and try and increase that if we do want to continually use this Pokemon. But you're only getting 3 opportunities with Destiny Bond. And if the Suicune, I swear the AI or the bot senses it, because if you start spamming Destiny Bond, it's just going to keep Calm Minding or like doing something else, But yeah, the Thunderbolt doesn't do as much as I kind of would want for something against Suicune. Kind of like a little off-topic idea that has been brought up to me before is like, again, I love Pokemon like let's say Aggron, Steelix, or whatever, and they're always weak to like water. And when I see Suicune, it just ends the run usually. But if we have like something like Jolteon or some other even like Magneton would be sick. Like a Magneton just dedicated to taking out Suicunes and other like Pokemon. That could be pretty useful. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, though, tanky grass Pokemon, again, we got Gengar. And then for Ludicolo, pretty much anything on the team could really handle it. Probably Meteor Mashing Metagross would be the best, but also Toxic on Milotic would be helpful. And let's see, any other Pokemon this team gives issues? Like, again, this team is designed to just be absolutely lethal. So there wasn't really a whole lot of, I guess, maybe Vaporeon's a little annoying too. There's a Vapor, it's not that it's impossible to deal with, but I remember getting into one fight with this Vaporeon where it just wouldn't die, and it couldn't kill my Milotic at all, and it just kept using Rest. Yeah, it was this Vaporeon 4, pretty sure. It's got Rest, Acid Armor, Ice Beam, and Surf. And it's got Water Absorb. So I just had to stall it out basically and keep using Toxic and never rested, and then that was annoying. But I wouldn't say it's it's impossible for the team to deal with. It's just, again, annoying. There's likely Pokemon that I have not fought with this team that might have given it might give it issues. But in general, there wasn't really a whole lot. Again, Suicune probably, and Latios, Latias, and similar Pokemon that are Dragon types where we need Milotic. And if they also have Earthquake and a Thunder move or an Electric move, yeah, that gives the team a little problems. So one more question we have about this team is, would you change anything about this team? Other than the Pokemon on it, like, again, Gengar, Milotic, they're cool. Again, they're not my favorites. I would like Steelix, Metagross, Aggron. That'd be sick. But yeah, other than actually changing the Pokemon, like if we had to change the moves or the items, I think the stats are perfect. Like I wouldn't change the stats at all. The items, though, I don't even think I'd change the items because, like, what would I do? I thought about Quick Claw on Metagross, but once you play with the Choice Band and you see the power, it's so hard to go back. Like, it's so hard. But yeah, Quick Claw could be an option, but I didn't feel like it was necessary because, again, Metagross is there to absolutely just knock something in the face and delete it, like a tanky Snorlax or like a Blissey. Gengar and Milotic cannot handle a Pokemon that you have to like kill on sight. Like you see a Snorlax, that thing's gotta get hit and wiped out. Like it's just how it is. Because once the thing sets up a curse or two and a double team, it just snowballs from there. So Metagross with a Choice Band, that handles it. And I would probably recommend almost every Pokemon team if you're trying to get pretty far, to have a Pokemon that is its purpose. Like, I'm going to punch something in the face. I forgot where we're going with this, but yeah, that's why Choice Band, so much better than the Quick Claw. For Milotic's moves, I think are perfect. Like, wouldn't change that. Metagross, I probably would get rid of Hyper Beam. I don't even remember using that at all. And I don't even know what else we would add. Like, I wonder if okay, that's the thing. You can't add any like utility move on Metagross because if you're running the Choice Band, like you're limited, if that makes sense. And you're obviously gonna want to have like a Killer and Psychic, which this team doesn't have any Psychic moves, which again would be good, but you're not training it in Special Attack. And Special Attack isn't base 95, that's pretty high, but you're not training in Special Attack, and you're having the Choice Band, so you're not really getting the full benefit. If I was able to get a good hidden power, I think that'd be like really good, actually. That probably would be the ideal thing. So I had an ice hidden power on mine that I bred, which is not ideal. If we could get like a hidden power flying, maybe like a bug, maybe even like fighting. Just, let's see, some other hidden power. I think that would be really good for the team. Yeah, probably flying, bug. We don't need rock. Yeah, probably flying because it just comes in handy, you know? You never know when it just comes up. But yeah, if I had to change something, it probably would be that move. The Hyper Beam, again, just never really used. I guess you could run. You can learn Sludge Bomb, and I guess Brick Break too. So and Shadow Ball. Wait, there's so many moves we can add to this Metagross. Why have I not done that? Probably Shadow Ball would be it. Huh. Interesting. Brick Break wouldn't be bad either. So it can learn Return. Wait a minute. Am I just dumb? Okay, Metagross can learn Aerial Ace, Sludge Bomb, Brick Break, Shadow Ball, even like Return. It can learn a lot of different moves. So, I mean, yeah, even Double Edge. Obviously, we can always teach it Explosion, but I don't really want to do that. So, I think, yeah, actually. So, if I had to change anything, it'd definitely be Hyper Beam. Probably trade that for Shadow Ball or Aerial Ace would be my go-to. Gengar is really good. Don't get me wrong. Like the moveset, very again versatile, like we discussed. But like I almost want this Pokemon to have Ice Punch also, just because the team kind of lacks. It's not that good when you send out Milotic into those other Pokemon. So I think having two Ice Beams Ice Beam and Ice Punch would just be really handy to have. But then I probably would be losing the Destiny Bond because I think that would be, you don't want to get rid of the other moves, they're just too good. So I'd probably have to get rid of Destiny Bond, and Destiny Bond comes in handy so much. But Ice Punch, just to definitely handle those dragon types that that you're going to be facing in the near future, would be probably beneficial. Guess while we're at it, let's just see, does Gengar learn anything else? Because if Gengar learns, let's see. So yeah, there's a whole different Gengar build we can go, where it's got Explosion, Will-O-Wisp, stuff like that. So yeah, you can Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, Ice Punch. It can learn Dynamic Punch. That's interesting. But yeah, it definitely would have to have Double Team. Now we kind of... I wonder if... I guess Psychic, too. That is also a consideration. Yeah, Gengar just learned so many good moves. So this hidden power that we had on this Gengar, where is it? We got Steel. So, yeah, useless. At least for this Gengar. Yeah, Psychic. Not Shadow. Did I say Shadow Ball? I can learn Shadow Ball. We would not teach it Shadow Ball. Probably Psychic would be the way to go. Psychic or Ice Punch. I'd probably go Ice Punch. Again, we're double downing on the Ice move, but at the same time, it's just really good, especially the Pokemon that you're going to be facing in there. You need to be able to handle it. So, yeah, but Destiny Bond. When you hit those Destiny Bonds, when Gengar's about to die and you just hit the Destiny Bond and you just win the game, it's like, wow, that was crazy. It feels so good. But yeah, that's essentially the team. It was really so powerful. They synergize really well, and you cover so many different things you're going to be facing in the frontier. I really enjoyed the team, but again, we got the gold medal with it. It fulfilled its purpose. We actually got 2 gold medals. We also got in the Battle Pike. I don't want to dive into the Battle Pike right now, but this team is so good for the Battle Pike too. Got Gengar with Levitate, can't be poisoned. Metagross can't be poisoned. And then you got Milotic, which, even if it does get poisoned, you get your bonus defense. You got Recover and stuff. It was a great team for the Pike too. But yeah, wow. Good team. So essentially, people that we're going to be interviewing, the trainers we're going to be interviewing in the future, kind of want a similar format. We discuss, your whole team, your moves, your stats, your items, your experience with it, why you picked the Pokemon, and yeah, pretty much all of that. I think it'd be kind of fun and interesting to see different people's perspectives, experiences, and choices within these games. So I'm definitely very excited to start getting people into these calls, chat with them, seeing what's going on, and I guess just hearing more from other people, Again, I talk about my games all the time. Sometimes I watch other people's videos and stuff, but I feel like getting in a call together, just chatting, sharing the experience, sharing maybe the knowledge, the unique knowledge about a specific Pokemon from a game like 20 years ago. Sounds great, But if you are interested in possibly coming on the show, again, I'm probably not I can't do everybody, obviously. There's just not enough time to, it's just not enough time. But the best way is probably through email. I might regret saying that, but to me, that just makes the most sense. I do have a form I want you guys to see and go over before, coming on, make sure we all understand kind of what the guidelines and kind of what we're going to be going through, just to set expectations. For right now, I'm going to be reaching out to other people, but at the end of each video, I'll probably leave a way to maybe try and get on the channel. But if you do already have a YouTube channel, I think that'd be very beneficial, because I think it'd be nice to, after we're done chatting or before we start chatting, just kind of plug your channel and maybe get other people to see your videos as well. But at the same time, you don't need to have a YouTube channel or an audience to come on the show. If you just want to, I think it's a great forum for people that want to share something specific, their team they've been using, and maybe you don't have the ability to make a YouTube video or whatever. This would be perfect, come chat about your team and then have other people listen to it. But yeah, I think I'm pretty excited. Hopefully you can tell. But I'm also excited too because like, I mean, obviously we make the videos, and the videos are already similar to like a podcast, but like I feel like I want to make this like a dedicated podcast, and like not about like my journey and adventure. It's about everybody else, you know. I'll try to get like a different maybe camera angle for the people that are watching online, but for the most part, I'm gonna keep it chill, keep it pretty normal, similar to the content we've already been making. Anyway, I don't think I have too much more to discuss. If you do enjoy this, definitely let me know. But more importantly, let me know what we didn't discuss or talk about that you want to see, and questions you want me to ask the other people that we're interviewing to make this like more of a I guess a holistic experience. You know, again, I want everybody to get some more value out of this. So yeah, definitely let me know in the comments. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this first episode. It's a little bit shorter than hopefully the next few episodes, but anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this first episode of Trainer Loadout. I think that was a cool name. I thought about that for a while. Maybe I should get like a vest one day and like put Pokeballs on it. Kind of similar to the thumbnail. That'd be sick. Go around walking with that on. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for enjoying. Hopefully you enjoyed. And if you did, thank you. Be sure to check out some other videos on, or I guess the future podcast. I don't know if you can subscribe to the podcast or something like that, but if you can, that'd be cool. Definitely check it out. There's gonna be a whole lot of videos coming. If you haven't already checked out the YouTube channel, definitely check it out. We got so many Pokemon videos up there. We got a whole much more coming. As always, the best way you can support the channel is by playing your own Pokemon games, because without you guys, we got nothing to chat about. Then obviously the next best thing is to continually watching all these videos, and also be sure to check out all the other content creators. Thanks for listening and or watching, and I will chat with you all shortly.